Looking unto Jesus, the author and finisher of our faith. That's the process to building a better you, is to look to Jesus for every need, every situation, to help you mature and become more and more like Him. So what are some of the key ingredients? Yesterday we looked at the absolute essential nature of sincerity. Sincerity is not a test of truthfulness, but sincerity is what allows us to seek out the truth. What's another essential ingredient? And that would be the desire to be scriptural, to have Bible authority for everything that we do. 1 Peter chapter 4, verse number 11 says, if anyone speaks, let him speak as the oracles of God. In other words, don't be engaging in your own ideas and your own doctrines and the traditions of men, but let's hear what God has to say on the subject. And I want you to notice what happens as a result of this, that in all things God may be glorified through Jesus Christ. When we desire to know God's will, and we know His will through the inspired, inerrant, perfect will of God, the Bible, and we begin to make application of that to our lives, then God's glorified. Jesus is exalted. In Matthew chapter 21, the religious elite come to Jesus and they ask Him a great question. They come to Him in the temple. The chief priests and the elders of the people confronted Him and they asked, by what authority are you doing these things and who gave you this authority? That's a great question. Now, they lack sincerity, so it didn't really matter. But Jesus is going to answer it. Verse number 24, but Jesus answered and said to them, I also will ask you one thing, which if you tell me, I likewise will tell you by what authority I do these things. The baptism of John, where was it from? From heaven or from men? Now those are the only two alternatives in life. Your religious practices, where did it come from? Did it come from heaven, the Word of God? Or is it something that men thought up? Well, they were afraid to answer. They were afraid to answer because they knew the people counted John as a prophet. But if they said it was from God, Jesus would say, then why didn't you go out to John and obey the commands of God? And so they were in a dilemma. And there are a lot of people like that today. They don't want to deny the Bible, but they don't want to follow the Bible. And here's the reality. You'll never build a better you. You'll never be like Jesus. You'll never look unto Jesus unless you surrender and submit to His teachings. Join us again tomorrow.